This may not be the video you're expecting from me, but this is the video that I want to share because this particular one is a testimony, and here it goes. There was a time I felt very invisible. When I say invisible, invisible is an understatement. Not because people were being mean to me, not because the doors were being slammed in my face, but because I felt like I was constantly building something. I was posting quietly, I was creating, I was showing up on a daily basis, and yet I was wondering if anybody important was ever going to notice me. Don't get me wrong, all my viewers are important. I was just this man with a phone, a dream, and a Wi-Fi. And if I'm being honest, there were moments I questioned myself. Am I doing enough? Am I good enough? Do I even belong in these spaces I keep praying about? At the beginning of this year, I decided to make a specific prayer. And I said, God, I don't just want to create content, I want to grow. And if you know me, I've been creating content since 2018, right? I need a network. And I prayed to God, I said, I want to network. I want to meet other creators. I want to learn from people who are doing this at a level higher than me. I don't want to stay in isolation anymore. Because for a very long time, I've been creating alone. Yes, I have my family, my husband, my kids, my friends. I have support. But I have never really been in a room with people who treat content creation like a full-time career. People who understand the algorithm, the brand deals, the strategy, the storytelling at scale. I've been figuring it out all on my own. And then something shifted. Within the past 2 to 3 weeks, I attended not just one, but two YouTube creator events. But you see this one here, this one was different. Or should I say, it still felt different. I was walking into this event feeling like I was stepping into a prayer I had just whispered to God months ago. The lights, the red carpet, the music, the energy. My goodness, for a second I paused and I thought, wait, is this me? Now me be this? I met creators I've been watching for years. People whose videos I've been consuming in my living room. People that I have only admired from behind my screen, right? And suddenly I am standing next to them, talking to them, laughing with them. I met incredible creators. I met power couples. I met innovators. I met people who have built empires from their creativity. And you know what? They were kind to me. They were open to me. They were generous with their knowledge. That alone changed something inside of me. Because sometimes when you look up to these people for a long time, you build this idea that they are untouchable. You build this idea that they are too big to see you, too important to answer your question. Don't get me wrong. They are big. They are important. They are untouchable, right? But they still answered my questions. Every single one of them. The questions I've been holding in since the day I posted my very first video. Questions about growth, about monetization, about consistency, about scaling this to making it a business, about mindset. And instead of feeling small in that room, they made me feel seen. For the first time, I wasn't the only creator in my circle. I wasn't explaining what I do. I wasn't just the mom who makes videos. I was a creator in the room filled with so many creators, and I belonged. I felt it in my heart that I did belong. That part right there did something to my confidence that honestly I may not even be able to explain. Because if you've ever been the only one in your environment chasing something different, you know how that lonely that can make you feel. You begin to wonder, are you crazy? Are you doing too much? Should you just settle? But being in this room, being in that room confirmed something to me. I'm not crazy. I'm cold. And it felt so freaking good. I danced, I laughed, I drank my first mocktail ever. I took pictures. I met new friends, including Brianna, who I met at the last event. And it's crazy because friendships are forming in spaces that I prayed for. And the craziest part, I hadn't hung out with adults like this in years. not as a mom at a school function or at a family gathering. I was here as Millicent, a woman, a creative, a dreamer. I danced my heart out like I didn't have 5 kids waiting for me at home, like I didn't have responsibilities. For a few hours, I was fully present in a space that felt like alignment, and the hours flew by. It felt like minutes, and then something else happened that meant more to me than people would probably realize. I finally spoke up. I have been in the same room with that man for 3 different times, 3 different occasions, and every time I was too shy to say what I really wanted to say. But this time I was ready. I walked up, I introduced myself, I asked him my questions, I expressed what I've been building, and he was kind to me. He listened, he encouraged me, and that moment alone would have made the whole night worth it, because growth isn't just about exposure, it's about courage. And I just found mine. But let me be honest to you about something. Being around high level creators like this did something else to me. It showed me that I have more work to do. Not in a way that discouraged me, but in a way that ignited something within me. I realized I can't treat this as a hobby anymore. This is not just something I do when I have the time. This is something I'm building. Something that can create impact, influence, income. Something that can create a legacy. And I went home that night and I talked for 4 straight hours to my husband about everything that happened. Because when you've been waiting for something and it finally starts unfolding, my sister, you cannot keep it inside. And that brings me back to something a friend once told me. There was a time I felt very overlooked. I felt very not invited, not included. And she said to me, she said, Millicent, while you're waiting for it to be your turn, how about you pray? How about you prepare? How about you be patient? Because when God remembers you, you want to be ready. And that statement right there stuck with me for years. Because sometimes we want the spotlight before we've even built the stamina. We want the platform before we've even developed the discipline. We want the room before we've even built the confidence to stand in it. So I prayed, I prepared, I kept creating even when my views were low. I kept posting even when I felt unseen. I kept learning even when nobody was applauding. And now the rooms are opening and I am not intimidated. I am equipped. Joseph did not see the manifestation of his dream until his 30s. Girl, I am 32. So if you feel behind, if you feel like everyone else is ahead, if you feel like your time has not come yet, maybe it's not delayed, maybe it's being developed. Because when your turn comes, you don't want to panic, you want to be ready. And I was ready. I am ready. This is not the highlight of my career, people. This is just the beginning. I feel it in my spirit. More rooms, more growth, more impact, more joy. And this time, I will not be shrinking in those spaces. I will not be silencing myself. I will not be second guessing why I'm here. Because I prayed for this. And if God allowed this to happen twice in 3 weeks, just imagine what the rest of the year has in stock for me. So to the woman watching this who feels unseen, to the man or to the mom or to the father building something quietly, to the creator watching this and doubting themselves, I want you to pray. I want you to prepare. I want you to be patient. Your 30s just might surprise you. And when it's your turn, oh Lord, you better show up ready. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. And to every creator, big and small, that attended this event and made me feel seen, made me feel comfortable to be myself, to express myself, I am so thankful. And if you ever come across this video, I want you to know that this meant so much to me and I will never forget it. And thank you, Adobe, for sponsoring this video. Not this video, for sponsoring the event that led to this video. And thank you, Daman, for being such a great host. And thank you, Daman Studios, for hosting us. See you guys in the next video. Ciao.